Welcome back to another episode of the show. I'm your host, David Womack. Now let's dive straight into today's TV and movie news. Now in our first story, Taraji P. Henson gives a scathing interview with Gayle King about being underpaid after being a huge Hollywood actress. The actress broke down in tears when Gayle King asked if she was seriously considering quitting acting. She feels uncertain about her on-screen career and money's the main factor. Taraji says she's still being underpaid for big movie roles despite being a well-established and super famous actress. The way Taraji explains it, even if she's paid $10 million for a movie, she won't see anywhere near that when the dust settles. Taxes take a huge chunk, and then she's got to take a break off a bunch of money for her team. Taraji says the math ain't mathin', and it sounds like this has been an issue for her going back for a while now. In her interview with Gayle, in which she's plugging her new movie, The Color Purple, Taraji's saying that she negotiated $500,000 for Benjamin Button, but she was only actually paid $100,000. Taraji's gone on to do tons of movies and win awards, but she says every time she thinks she's broken through, she's humbled at the negotiating table. What Taraji is explaining that she's going through, I feel like it's a bigger conversation than what she is experiencing herself. Now, in this really extremely emotional conversation, and I just hope Taraji, finds the answers that she needs, and that my hopes goes out to Taraji and her team, as well as other actors in her particular situation. In our next bit of news, Mortal Kombat 2 images have leaked online, and the movie looks really good. Mortal Kombat 2 images reveal first look at Scorpion's return. The Mortal Kombat 2 producer Todd Gardner teases the return of undead ninja Scorpion in the upcoming sequel with tantalizing images. Scorpion's return in Mortal Kombat 2 may be linked to the character Quan Chi, who played a part of the elimination of Scorpion's clan. Scorpion's one of the most iconic fighters in the Mortal Kombat series, could be one of Cole's adversaries in the sequel. Directed by Simon McQuaid, the upcoming martial arts fantasy movie adapts the next stage of a deadly tournament between Earthrealm and Outworld. With new fighters joining the battle, in Mortal Kombat, Scorpion is a long-dead assassin from 17th century Japan condemned to the hellish Netherrealm after the brutal murder of his family by a rival clan. Now, Garner has offered a small glimpse of Scorpion's return in Mortal Kombat 2. Now, Garner did take this picture with maybe his camera phone while on set, and it looks like one of Scorpion's, famous iconic tool that he uses to do his famous move with. The shot is focused on Scorpion's iconic kunai against what appears to be a blue screen intended to show the otherworldly environment in the film's final cut. Scorpion is one of the most iconic fighters in the Mortal Kombat series, with his brutal attacks and catchphrases being some of the series' most recognizable pieces. As such, with Mortal Kombat 2 expanding the movie universe, it seems there will be a very interesting reason for Scorpion's return. Now, Mortal Kombat 2 currently doesn't have a release date, but based off of the release of these images, it may be coming up soon, and I'm pretty excited for that. Now, in our next bit of news for today, it looks like Warner Brothers and Paramount may possibly be merging sometime soon. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global are reportedly discussing a potential merger that could have wide-ranging consequences for entertainment. The CEOs of both companies, Bob Bakish and David Zaslav, reportedly met to discuss the possible merger. The merger could bring together two major media conglomerates formed from other recent mergers. Discovery forming most recently out of the 2022 merger between Warner Media and Discovery, Paramount Global was formed from the 2019 merger of CBS Corporation and Viacom and was formerly known as Viacom CBS until 2022. Multiple sources are saying that Paramount Global's Bob Bakish and Warner Brothers Discovery David Zaslav met with one another on Tuesday. If the merger does go through, the companies would not be equal parties, as Warner Brothers Discovery is worth $29 billion and Paramount Global is only worth about $10 billion. Keep in mind that the merger of these two companies has huge ramifications. Just think of a small pea growing into the size of planet Earth. The merger between the two companies could create a powerful entity in the entertainment space. Warner Brothers Discovery owns many prominent brands in addition to Warner Brothers and Discovery, including DC, HBO, CNN Worldwide, TNT Sports, and the streaming service Max, while Paramount Global's own BET, VH1, MTV, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, CMT, Paramount Network, and Showtime, and including Paramount Plus, the streaming app. Both companies also hold a minority stake in the network, the CW. This potent combination of companies and brands doesn't necessarily benefit audiences. For instance, in the wake of the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, David Zaslav became a lightning rod for controversy with a variety of division decisions, especially as it related to the streaming service Max. This included the quiet removal of hundreds of streaming titles, some of which were Max exclusive, and the tax write-off cancellations of the Batgirl movie, Scoop, Holiday Hunt, and Coyote vs. Acme, which were all either completed or in post-production. Keep in mind that the merger between Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global could potentially result in a merger between their primary streaming services with similar fallout. It could also encourage other entertainment companies to follow suit with their own mergers. Now, it is too early to tell if these reports pan out to something official, but subscribe to the channel and keep your ears to the streets because we'll let you know if anything turns out from this. Stay tuned for that. In our next bit of news, after the passing of Norman Lear earlier this year, Deadline decides to make a post about Norman Lear's career in pictures, and believe me, it is stunning. Deadline.com produced a post titled Norman Lear's Career in Pictures, including some of TV's most iconic shows like All in the Family, Sanford and Son, and The Jeffersons. Norman Lear, who died at 101, had been in TV business for more than 70 years. But in the 70s is when Lear's name became a household word for any American household that watched TV. In 1971, All in the Family with Carol O'Connor as the bombastic Archie Bunker changed TV forever. He also had a string of shows like Maude, Sanford and Son, Good Times, One Day at a Time, and The Jeffersons. Now, this report that Deadline did, I don't want to give too much away. I think you guys should check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description box below, or go and check it out on Deadline.com. In our next bit of news, we have an update from the Jonathan Majors story we reported on earlier this week. It looks like that he possibly won't be serving jail time. The introduction of texts in which Majors appear to be dissuading his girlfriend from going to the hospital is one appealable issue in an already unusual case. While Jonathan Majors has been convicted of assault and harassment, members of the legal community believe the actor will get little to any jail time and may have grounds for an appeal, though the career consequences of doing so may outweigh the benefits. The actor was found guilty of reckless assault in the third degree, a misdemeanor, and of harassment in the second degree. The assault charge carries a maximum sentence of up to 1 year in jail, but several attorneys said they do not believe Majors will spend time behind bars. A Manhattan-based civil rights attorney, Carrie Landon, says, since it's the defendant's first conviction, although technically he faces 1 year of jail, the judge will 99% give him 3 years probation, anger management, and possibly some community service. For high-end lawyers coming out saying this, more than likely it's going to be true. I would believe it's true just because there's no real criminal in this particular case, but there's tons of lessons to be learned on both sides. And our final story for today, Rick and Morty season 7 finale episode finally aired. And if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But the showrunner finally came out and pretty much said that there's going to be a 10-season saga. Rick and Morty season 7 has wrapped up, and showrunner and executive producer Scott Marder is teasing what's ahead for the Adult Swim animated series. In a recent interview, Marder opened up about working on season 9 of the show and hinted at a 10-season saga that's being worked on. He goes on to say, "I can't tease a lot. I can tell you we're in the middle of writing season 9. I can tell you that we've already got a couple of ideas for the season 10 that are already kind of pinned. They're in a full plan, a full 10-season saga." I've always been a huge fan of Rick and Morty. I got into it around season 3, and then I went back to watch season 1 and season 2. But overall, I think the show is genius. I think there's tons of laughs, a lot of humor, tons of serious points as well. And then the whole thing with Justin Roiland kind of turned me off a little bit. But once the case was dropped, I got back into the show and I finished it all the way to the finale. I'll give a review on it. Comment down below if you guys want me to give a review on TV shows like this. Now that's all the TV movie news we have for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let me know you love me. Let me know you care. Also hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that we're here and we're here to stay. As always, guys, have a great day, everyone.